Hello, so welcome to our podcast, Club Hideout, episode number 4. We have our fourth guest, Jai, here today. Do you mind giving us a little introduction?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jai. I'm 25. I'm half Dominican, half Spanish. And it's a pleasure to be here today, Joseph. Thank you for inviting me.
I know you can get kind of uncomfortable because it's not a very typical situation, so I can tell you're a little bit tense,
Yeah.
which is fine, of course. Do you mind telling us how you came to Korea and
How did I came to Korea? Okay, so basically, one day I was in my country thinking, what should I do with my life? I guess every teenager go through that.
Yeah.
To that little moment where you say like, oh, what am I doing with my life? What should I do? So I was talking to my mom and to my auntie and my family members of what should I do? And one of my family members told me like, oh, you should go to United States, maybe study something there, blah, 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 which I didn't like the idea because I don't like the United States. It's personal opinion, not hate or anything. It's just like, it's too similar to half of my
wherever you grew up?
yeah.
Okay.
So I was like kind of searching for something different.
Yeah.
So the first country that I thought to travel, it was Australia. But I was like,
Isn't that kind of similar to English-speaking country?
yeah.
My opinion is like obviously different, but Australia, New Zealand, England, UK, the
Yeah,
States.
but yeah, I was looking like I searched on internet and about the culture and stuff,
yeah.
and it was like, okay, this might be interesting.
Yeah.
So, I was like, at first I was like, okay, let me go to Australia, but then I started searching like the requirements for the visa and stuff, and for us, it's not that simple.
Oh, was it difficult?
Yeah, it is difficult. When
Even if you have like a Hispanic.
I don't have a Spanish passport.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't. I have my Dominican passport.
Okay, okay.
So that's kind of like why it's difficult. If I had my Spanish passport, of course, it will be easier. But I have like a couple of years trying to like apply for it, and it's been a whole process. So yeah, the requirements were like a little bit too much. So I was like, okay, let me search a place where I can go without the visa or something.
Are
like
you
not too
illegal here?
complicated.
Are you illegal here?
No, I'm not. Don't worry. So yeah, my auntie at that time was here because she worked here for like, she studied here.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
yeah, she was living here for around 7-8 years. She studied in Yonsei and everything.
Yeah.
So she had the experience of living here in Korea. And she was like, you're going to love Korea because it's a safe place, the people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty safe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, compared to other countries, it is really safe.
You can leave your things anywhere. Nobody steals it. So.
It's true. It was a cultural shock for me when I first realized that. But yeah, then she told me like, let's do this. What about if I do a contract to you? You come, you help me out a little bit because I need help with my daughter.
Yeah.
So I was like, at first, I was like thinking it through. Because I was like, I'm gonna be a babysitter. What if I don't have time to do my stuff or blah blah blah? What if things get complicated?
Yeah.
Which it did, but at first I was like, okay, never mind. Anything, any problem or anything, I can just think it through and solve that or anything, or maybe communicate and we can get to something. And she was like, and then I was like, okay, let's do it like that. And I told her like, okay, I'm gonna go under your requirements or anything, but I need my free time.
Yeah.
I want to be independent. Yeah. I need to have my days to go out to meet and like everything.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to be full day here.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. At first, she was like, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. So yeah, we did it like that. We made a contract, and that's how I ended up here.
Did you have any expectations before you came here? And then were you happier to like? Do you think you would be happier being in Australia
Mm,
or
I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy right now.
yeah, with the experiences you had so far, you're pretty
Yeah,
happy.
with the experience I
Yeah.
had so far, not so good, not so bad.
So far, so good, I guess.
I think I kind of like it here. I think I'm pretty much happy, at least more than what I used to be when I was back in my country. So
Before your aunt suggested you to come to Korea, did you have any knowledge about Korea?
yeah, I did. I did have a lot of knowledge. I have two sisters, two younger sisters.
Yeah.
So one of them was really involved into like K-pop culture
yeah.
and stuff. So since she was like 14 years old,
Yeah.
she's currently 19. So she's been like a lot of years into like K-pop industry and stuff. She used to like Big Bang, Girls' Generation, all the stuff. So at first I was like, well, why are you even listening to that? You don't understand that. Like, why? And she was like, oh, it's like for the rhythm and stuff. You don't understand. It's just like a fever. When you get into it, you get into it. I was like, not quite understanding. Then the BTS fever came through on the whole wide world. So it was like, I kind of first like a song of BTS.
Which one was it?
It was Pipe, I don't remember. It was like Pipe something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's an old song. I don't remember. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's old, but that was the first song I listened to from a BTS. Yeah. So I kind of like that song. And I started listening to that song specifically, not any other song.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was interesting to me. And I was like, one day I was like just randomly listening to that song and I was like Googling and Pinterest. Like first I was on Pinterest.
Yeah.
I was like Korea. And I was like, you know that Pinterest showed the beautiful side of everything.
I mean, yeah, usually social media does that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. And I was like in Pinterest because I used to like use Pinterest a lot. And I was like, oh, South Korea. And I saw these beautiful places like the palace and everything. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Was it as beautiful as Pinterest? Or not?
It is. Like, honestly, it is.
Really?
Like in some places, yeah.
Yeah, some places not.
Some places not. I mean, it's all in the eyes. Like how
that is true.
How beautiful you manage to see the things. So I started learning. I went like, because I was confused. I thought North Korea and South Korea, the typical confusion.
Yeah, I can understand.
So I started like searching on Google and stuff and learning about the food, learning about the K-dramas, learning about the music, learning about the culture, the palace, the Joseon dynasty, everything was like quite, like for me, it was like, oh my God, this is so new.
Yeah, and we have a pretty long history too. So
yeah, and really interesting history too. It's quite long and different. So I started by that. And then randomly I saw like in those websites on Google, I saw like the K-dramas and stuff. So I was like, okay, let me watch a K-drama. Like maybe I liked it. Because I used to like Chinese dramas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Japanese drama. I used to love them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe it's not that different. Yeah. But yeah, it is. Yeah. It is so different.
You know the funny memes like when Korea drama, you meet, fall in love. Last episode, they finally kiss. American drama, they meet, have sex right away. or something like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was like, and there's also a meme where like, where you can see a lot on internet. It's like a girl or like a boy crying, and it says like on top, it says like when you finally get to the episode 9 and they
they didn't even kiss yet.
They have the first kiss.
Yeah.
Like so emotional. Yeah.
And the kiss builds up so slowly. Like,
dramatic
music. Now.
That's true.
Enter. Face off. Next episode.
It makes you feel like you're really into it. Like, oh my God, I wish I had my first kiss like that. So it was really funny for me.
Was your first kiss like that?
No, it wasn't.
I'm trying to remember my first kiss now.
I kind of remember like part of it.
How old were you?
I was 13.
Okay, yeah. I think I was around 13 too.
I was around 13, 14 when I had my first kiss. So yeah, it was quite interesting.
Really? What happened?
Well, it was like someone steal a kiss from me.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't something planned?
No,
Like,
it wasn't.
you weren't
something
dating the
planned.
person?
No,
or?
no, I was not dating that
Oh,
person
okay.
at all.
Yeah.
I was just like in a break
Mm.
from high school. I'm like
Yeah.
high school? No,
Yeah.
it's not. It was not high school. Yeah, high school. I was
Yeah.
14. My bad.
Yeah.
So we were like together in the breaks. We were eating at the cafeteria and stuff, and there was like this rumor going around that I was like seeing this guy, which
Yeah.
was not true. It was because that guy usually go to my classroom
Yeah.
because he had friends in my classroom. I mean, he always talked to me, but I never realized. I guess I was too young to realize that that guy liked me or something.
But he obviously did.
Yeah, he obviously did because we were talking and everything, and his friends started joking when we were in the cafeteria and like, oh, tell her blah blah blah, and I was like, okay. At that point, I already knew something was going on, and I was like kind of noticing, and this guy was like suddenly everyone was like, do it blah blah blah, and I was like kind of confused, and he was just like, and I was like, what did just happen? So yeah,
That's kind of abrupt.
Yeah, I was like this, and I was like, but yeah, that's.
I mean, yeah,
my first.
Could be cute. Could be kind of like, what the fuck?
It was weird for me because I never agreed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I like
saying.
him or something, or that we had mutual feelings or anything.
It's
He
kind of
just
like one way, but
got from the pressure of his friends and stuff, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
After that, I never talked to that guy again.
Really? My God. But you know what? I just realized my first kiss was in kindergarten. I don't remember it, but I have a photo. Like, it was my birthday. I was getting like presents. I don't know why, but I have a photo of a girl like kissing me, and there was a photo of it. I just remember it, but yeah.
Oh, probably my first kiss.
So mine was stolen too, I guess.
When we're kids, like, I don't know here, but in my culture, when we're kids, if like our parents are friends, and we're like about the same age, or we're born at, like around the same age, or you're like 2 years older or something, they'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend when you grow up." Oh, you're two like a couple from now on, like that's the thing.
Yeah, that happens in Korea.
Oh, that happens here. Yeah, it was like it's quite interesting because at first I was like not paying too much attention to that, but then when I started realizing, I was like, they're just kids. How you can tell kids they are boyfriend and girlfriend? They don't even know that.
Yeah. But it's just joking around, not too serious.
Yeah, but then the girl and the boy grow up, and they be like 6, 7 years old, and now, who's your girlfriend? Oh, she's my girlfriend. They don't even know the meaning, but they like.
Oh, they say it like that? Oh, okay.
Because it's like, well, not every girl and boy, of course, but it had like it's.
You don't think they have feelings? Like, maybe they do. They did like it. Maybe they know like the partial meaning.
It depends. For example, if you grow up with someone on your side and you're like, how can I say it? Like, if you're, I forgot the close enough with that person, you can develop feelings. It can be your first love.
Yeah,
blah,
I mean,
blah,
even
blah.
if you're 6, you can still like somebody.
There's
I was like that.
There's like allegedly our first loves are our parents.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say allegedly because who knows.
I mean, it's true. Even if they didn't love you, it's the toxic trait that you look for when you date.
Yeah, it's like, oh, your first love. Well, for girls, that like.
I mean, it's your mom. To be honest, like your first love is potentially your mom. That's what I heard.
Yeah, for guys.
No, for girls too.
For girls, the first love is usually dad, like the father.
I think the way that I learned, I don't know where I heard it, but maybe at school or something. So like you're born from your mother, and you have the intimate bond when you're a baby, with the mom.
Of course.
So that's why the first loving person that you have to develop a feeling is apparently your mom.
Yeah, for us, it's apparently the first person that we love is just our father, like, because we're girls and kind of like messed up way of thinking, but
no, but it's true though.
But yeah, it's true what you're saying, but logically, like the first bond, the first feeling that you should feel, it's for your mother because she was the one who gave you birth. But in my country, they usually say that when it's girls,
they say
fall
it,
in love,
but apparently, apparently that's what that's what I heard. So kind of find it
People
interesting.
believe what they decide to believe in, honestly.
Now, apparently, your dad is like your first rival.
Yeah, it's like my first male love, like my first male love. So yeah, which for me it was not that the case, but I guess I don't know, culture things.
You didn't have. Are you still okay with your dad?
Okay, so I don't have daddy issues, or maybe, but I guess I don't have. Like, I didn't build any relationship with my father. Since I was like maybe 16, 17, probably less. I guess I don't remember the last thing about my father. Honestly, he was never there, so it's kind of like he didn't make the effort. And I guess I focused myself in doing a lot of stuff, and I forgot about building a bond with him. So
I'm sorry to hear that, but
it's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's not okay, but when you grow up, not giving a shit about some. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, when you grow up, like not giving a shit about certain stuff, it's just like normal.
Yeah, and you have to accept certain things that happen in your life. It is what it is. You just got to move on, right? Yeah. And you turn out like to be a great person. So.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm really glad that everything that happened to me happened.
Yeah,
honestly. That makes me what I am right now. So yeah.
Yes, it was a necessary thing that was supposed to happen.
It was. Yeah. So yeah, to give you a final answer about the last question, it was I got interested because of my sister and because of a drama, and then after that I just kind of fell in love and started listening to music and everything.
Yeah, and now you're really into dramas, so I know you binge watch them a lot.
I think I lost the count of how many dramas I've watched already. Oh my God. Like I was 13. I was like, because I have like a little note on my phone of how many dramas I watched to like list it out. And I got kind of surprised about like by how many I had, like, and I was like, oh my God. I had a lot of free time because for me to watch that amount of dramas, it was like, but I guess the fever, the K-drama fever got into like,
I think you really may know more about Korea than me. I don't think I watched like a handful, maybe like 2 or 3. And my parents never really allowed me to watch K-dramas when I was young. So never really had any like built any feelings or attachment towards K-dramas. Like I wanted to watch few. And there was like this really famous one in Korea called like 야인시대. It's like this old school like gangster Korean. It was like the cool thing that everybody was watching, and I wanted to watch it. But I think the show started at 10, so my parents made me go to bed around like 9:30, so they would never turn on the TV. So I never had the chance to actually watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, so didn't no bonds.
I built a really strong bond.
Yeah, so you may be more Korean than I am
with Korean dramas. Yeah. Surprisingly, yeah. I never thought that I was going to get so deep into another culture like I am. To the point that I was like, I didn't even think about traveling here at that time.
Yeah.
So for me, nowadays I'm like randomly in a car, like in a taxi or in a subway, and I start thinking, I was like, oh my God, look where I am.
My God, I'm in Korea.
Look what the hell? And then I just start smiling out of nowhere.
Well, good for you. Kind of the opposite of me. My God, I've been here for so long. What am I doing here? Gotta go now.
You know, that's why I said that I kind of feel like more happy than I used to be in my country, because just kind of like, I saw a video not too long ago where it says like, you realize that you're living at least one of the dreams that you had one day.
Yeah.
So that really got...
That's a pretty cool
statement. I was like, damn, I am living one of the dreams I had one day. Because when I used to watch K-dramas or listening to music, I was like, oh, I really wish to be like to go there, to travel there or something. But I never imagined myself coming like as a thing. Because I used to like, oh, maybe I should go, blah, blah, blah. But like a decision to like, no, I'm going there.
Yeah.
Never.
And I don't think you're just living one dream. Like if it's I don't know if it's a conscious decision or a subconscious decision, but the way that I met you was through like this group chat where a lot of people are in the group chat because for modeling reasons or acting purposes and collaborations. And you said you had the dream when you were younger to be model actress.
Yeah.
But you wanted to try it out, to see how it goes, and then that's you actually went into group chat, and then
That's time that I ended up knowing you.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
so-
that's one of also my dreams and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like life is pretty surprising sometimes.
Yeah, has its interesting moments.
Yeah.
But it's pretty courageous that you were willing to do it. It's not easy to try to follow the dream. And obviously, you have I think the fear factor is the worst thing. You always imagine it to be the worst, but when you actually do it, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, yeah.
And even if it's that bad, it's okay because you imagined it. So it's like kind of pretty much similar. But from my experience, it never went to the point how I imagined it.
Yeah,
Right?
in my case, it happens like that.
Yeah.
Like you can have expectations of something, but when you try it out, it's just the results are totally different of what you were expecting.
Yeah, exactly. So you actually have to do it in order to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's completely true. Yeah.
Face the fears.
I'm still kind of like thinking.
No, of course,
that.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's way easier said than done,
Yeah, it's true. It's just like part of my fear is like I think I have too many complexions about myself.
Really?
Yeah. So even though since I was like really young, I heard like, every time my parents or any random person met me when I was like a kid, they were like usually, "Oh, you're so beautiful. She's so beautiful." Blah blah blah. But then when I turn it into like some age, I started like looking at myself at the mirror and stuff. So I kind of start developing some complexions about me, my face, my body and stuff. So I think my fears all come from that part of me, like that part of my life where I just create this bunch of complexions.
Yeah.
And I'm still like trying to let that in the past, but still it's kind of like there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there. Even though I try like to feel like be the better version of myself or trying to like feel comfortable with myself and everything, it's just still there. That fear and my complexion is still kind of there.
But even that too, we tend to make it so much worse.
Yeah.
And like for example, a little different example, but like sometimes when I make a song, if somebody else would have made that song, I would have said it's a good song. But since it's mine, there'd be some like little thing that I would dislike, and that little thing is gonna make me hate the entire song. It's like that too. You like even though it's not that bad, you make it seem like it's worse. And like another thing I watched like online, there was a guy who drew a portrait. So the person was describing him or herself to the guy who's drawing the portrait, and he and she described themselves as so much worse. It's like, oh, I have like a big chin, and so like describing themselves really like not ugly per se, but they were describing their negative parts like kind of harshly, and another person would just look at them and then describe them, and they're like, oh, he has like he or she has a beautiful chin, like strong chin, and then like nice eyes, nice smiles, and it would describe it in much a more positive way. So like the outcome of the photos were so different. Like the first one was how you saw yourself, and the second was how others saw you. And the second one was like so much more like like how others perceive you was so much nicer than how you actually imagine yourself. So
yeah, mine trick us, or mine.
Yeah,
really
it filters.
trick
Yeah,
us.
definitely filters.
Yeah. It's kind of like I always had the question, like how people look at me.
Yeah.
Because they say like that was like a part of my life where everyone was, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so skinny, blah blah blah, but I still like look at myself at the mirror and I was like, no, I'm not skinny, or I'm not that beautiful, or I was just like starting like, oh, I need this, or I need this, or I don't want this, or I don't want this and stuff. So I always had that like kind of thought of like what people like. I wish to see myself in somebody else's eyes just to see what is the special thing that they see in me sometimes. Because some people say like, oh, it's not only because you're beautiful. It's like the vibe that you give.
Oh yeah, you definitely
like
have
the
a vibe.
personality of like something like that. That shines brighter than like what you truly like how you truly look or something. And I was like, and I'm like, like,
see what you're doing there? You definitely have a vibe and character. So you have a very, you may like, if you, the way that you think of yourself may be partially negative, but the way that you kind of portray it and extrude your personality is really positive in a way.
I try to be positive as much as I can.
And like people can definitely feel that. I felt it too when I first met you. So like, you know, like, yeah. It's not that you're not beautiful at all. Like you are a beautiful person too, but just the way that you represent yourself in a positive manner is like very contagious in a good way. Like has like a very positive vibe.
Thank you. As I told you, for me, it was like quite interesting having the first conversation with you because as I told you, I don't quite have that kind of conversations with everyone. Because I just like, not everyone. Not, you like, let's be honest, you cannot have this kind of conversations with everyone.
That's true.
So I kind of like, I started like, I stopped trying.
Yeah.
To like give an impression or something. So for me, it was like quite. I really, sorry, I really felt that you had like such a good energy too because I'm usually a shy person, very shy, very introverted, very.
I couldn't tell.
Like this.
Yeah.
But somehow when I tend to find someone that I feel comfortable around, I get to like relax, talk. Do a couple of jokes, blah blah blah, and then that way you can see the real me. I guess that's why you like think like that because you are one of the few person that can truly say that you know the real me.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Oh,
I think we met in a pretty like special situation too, since like it's not a like this atmosphere to itself is like not such a common thing, and I really like this place because I get to open up in this space particularly because I'm very comfortable and because I always spend a lot of time here, and so I think since I'm really comfortable in this area and very open, kind of like whenever whoever visits me here kind of tends to open to me too, which I really appreciate.
And you talk a lot, like that's not in a bad way.
No,
you know?
I do talk
not in
a
a
lot.
bad way, of course. But you talk a lot. That's a good thing. That gives you like the confident, on like for me in my case, that gave me the confidence that I could talk about anything with you because you talk. You like you're not the kind of person that just stays like you know, trying to look up in your mind what you're gonna talk next. You just talk.
It's just
totally,
like stream of consciousness.
And that's kind of like, you feel comfortable with that.
That's true. And the thing is like, I'm not really afraid or ashamed to share my mistakes. I think it's kind of fun, you know? And like once you like speak those mistakes out loud, it's not a mistake or a weakness anymore.
No,
like,
it's not.
Yeah, it's like you're over it.
It becomes sometimes a funny experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes a traumatizing experience.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the thing is, like, when you can talk about it, it's like you're over it now, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Completely true.
Yeah. But you're right. I can definitely be a big talker. So, you know, like, since this is my 4th podcast, I've been like slowly trying to limit myself how much I talk for the guests to talk more. Because I realized, like, oh my God, like, shut up.
You're okay.
Bro, shut up.
For people like me we don't tend to talk a lot, it's okay because we're gonna like we get into like the vibe and stuff and we just like start
bounce
talking,
off each other
and stuff.
That's good.
So that's good.
So how long have you stayed in Korea so far?
10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
How's your Korean?
I can say it's still basic Korean.
Is your hearing better than your? Oh, I'm sure your hearing's way better.
Yeah.
Because you watch like a lot of K-dramas too, so I can't imagine that.
Since my hearing is like way better than my speaking skills, when I learn a new word, I tend to like say it correctly. Because, a lot of people make a lot of mistakes when they are learning new languages and stuff.
But that's like
normal.
yeah.
But whenever, like, I know. Okay, so the thing is that when Korean people,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm afraid what are you gonna say?
when Korean people listen to any foreigner speaking in Korean, now no matter how bad their Korean are, they be like, "Oh, 잘했어," and I'm like, "No, they didn't. Like they didn't had any."
But the thing is, it sounds so innocent when foreigners speak Korean.
Yeah, and for Koreans, like, oh, like I understand because it's such a nice. I feel that kind of like I tend to feel like that whenever some Asian or European people try to speak Spanish. They were like, "Oh, I'm from Dominican Republic," or like, "I'm half Spanish. I know I can speak Spanish." And even though they don't quite know Spanish, they were like, "Hola."
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly how I feel.
¿Cómo está? And you find it so funny.
Yeah.
So you get kind of like, I understand the feeling.
Yeah.
But in my case, I'm a really realistic person. If they do not pronunciate it well, I'm like, I always correcting them. No, it's not hola, it's hola. They'd be like, hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Like, I'll always correct them. But in case of Korean, they'd be like, "Oh no, you did so well, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
They don't even correct that person if they are saying it wrong or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, my hearing skills are way better. So when I tend to learn a new word, it's kind of like I listen to it a lot for me to not make any mistakes when I pronunciate it.
But
I cannot say I'm perfect at it. I still have like a lot of flaws, but I'm in my journey to learn Korean. People don't kill me. Yeah.
I mean, but it sounds so cute when foreigners cute and innocent when foreigners speak Korean. And like one time I was walking down the street and like some guy tried to speak Korean to me, and he tried. So he obviously didn't know I spoke English. He's like, "Oh, 저기, 실례합니다." Like sounded like. And then I was like, "Hey, it's okay. If English is better, you can try use English." "Oh, really, bro? Thank you, man." "Oh, you spoke English? Oh, that's cool, man." And he's like, his personality shifted so fast. I was like, "What the hell? Oh my god, he's a different guy now."
Yeah, it happens to me too. Like when you know different languages, it tends to happen. For example, my Spanish personality is completely different.
That's true.
Like my alter ego.
Yeah. Actually, Jun told me, the guy who helps me with the video, he told me that I have a different personality when I speak Korean. I feel more
soft.
Yeah, more reserved. Like, 안녕하세요.
Like, speaking in Korean and then you talk in English. Hey.
Not like that.
No, I mean not like that, but just like giving an example.
Yeah.
Of course, just giving an example. Like if you I don't know if you spoken in Korean in your past videos, but
not yet.
You did?
Not yet.
No, okay, not yet. But pay attention, really pay attention to him, because when he tends to speak Korean, he'd be like, he became a soft boy. He'd be like,
soft boy.
Yeah, like even your tone of voice changed a lot.
That's
like
true,
significant,
yeah.
like honestly. And then whenever he switch to English, he'd be like, nah.
Yeah, apparently I use more body language when I use English too. I didn't realize that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, since like Jun monitors like the podcast, and when I talk to him, I just talk to him in Korean. When I talk to him in Korean, I'm just more reserved, I guess. Yeah, but I didn't realize it.
You sound soft, way softer. For me, since I know, like, for me, when I speak Korean, I'm like this tiny little girl that's just like learning and
I bet when you speak Spanish, you're like, "Hey."
Yeah, and they like when people hear me talking in Korean, they be like, "Oh, you sound so cute." So like, "Oh, no." Like I tend to receive that comment a lot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, 귀여워. Oh, 너무 귀여워."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh, you." No. But that's why I say Spanish is my alter ego, because when I speak Spanish, I feel like this is me, you
Yeah.
know, this is me, this is what I am, this is, you know, I turned to a whole different person.
Yeah, but Spanish have like passion. It's so cool. Like restaurants, they do like they're like tango dance or something. It's like
in Spain they have like tango and stuff.
that's like
in Dominican we have salsa, bachata.
Man, you have like the
merengue, you know? That's what I'm saying. You see the difference when I'm talking in Spanish. That's the thing.
Yeah, your like alter ego comes out. Like you can't stay still. You have to move around.
Yeah, I have to move around. It's like you. It's like you when we're talking in English.
I know exactly.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know.
Are all Spanish Dominican kind of like that? Like more like energetic and more like they just have to like move around?
I wish to say we're not, but we definitely are. we do.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we're definitely more energetic and stuff, and we're like. Because we are like a really warm country. When it comes to friends and family.
I mean, the country itself is kind of warm too.
Yeah, I know. Right. Besides the weather, of course.
I mean, weather has a big impact though.
Yeah, that's true. We kind of like when we made friends. We like not everyone. Okay, don't kill me. Don't like not everyone. It's just like some
of course,
us.
it's like subjective.
Yeah.
So.
We tend to like make friends for a long time and we really care about family a lot.
Yeah.
So I told you, I don't know if you remember last time, that if you put together a Dominican family or a Spanish family, you will get out of the room.
What do you mean?
You will get out of the room.
Oh, because it's too loud.
Yeah, so loud.
Okay, yeah.
People just started dancing out of nowhere. Oh, do you know this bachata? You know, you can like. Did you heard this song? Do you heard this song and like they started dancing the bowl or something like that? You know, we're kind of that. We can just be like sitting here talking normally, and then
it's so funny because the way you're like when you're describing Hispanic or. You're so energetic without even being drunk. I have to be pretty drunk to be that energetic.
We are energetic.
Yeah.
We tend to be energetic normally without even getting drunk.
Yeah, and imagine with alcohol. Another level.
Give us wrong. And you will know a Dominican. Give us wrong. We have a typical alcohol named Brugal.
Yeah.
It's like a rum.
Yeah.
Really sweet rum.
Yeah.
That we tend to like drink it like normal rock on plain.
Yeah.
I don't
on
know.
On the rock.
Yeah. Or we mix it up with orange juice and stuff. You know, the typical.
Yeah.
And we tend to drink that a lot. So when the rum hits your system, you know
a new tier unlocked.
A new whole personality.
My God.
Like you can be sitting there and you don't know anything about dance and you suddenly see somebody dancing and you start like, oh, dancing as well.
Yeah, but you guys are like naturally good dancers.
Not everyone.
I mean, for me, the way that the things that I've witnessed, like, man, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like more naturally.
Because we have the rhythm.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Our blood.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, we say it like that, you know.
Is that a thing? You think it's like, it's in your DNA?
I think it's a thing.
Do you think it's a cultural thing or it's like you're kind of born with it?
I'm not sure. Kind of like half and a half. Because, I mean, this might sound silly, but Dominican moms has this kind of like phrase. When somebody's like really good at dancing, they be like, oh, yo lo brinqué cuando era chiquito. It's like, I jump him when he was like a little kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why he knows how to dance.
Okay.
And when somebody do not know how to dance, it's like, oh, a ese no lo brincaron cuando chiquito. It's like, to that boy or girl,
you didn't do that.
You didn't jump them when they were kids.
Okay.
So that's why they don't know how to dance. So I think it's like 50-50. Since it's very into our culture, dancing and the rhythms and stuff, we learn since we're really young how to do certain stuff. I'm not proud of like
should be proud.
Many
cool.
things I'm proud of many things in my country, but I'm not proud of another many things in my country.
Oh yeah.
But I guess that's one of the things that makes me really proud is that we have this cultural thing when you can identify us as like dancing or rhythm of music and stuff. So yeah, you can definitely.
You're proud of that, right?
Yeah, I'm proud of that. Of course,
I wish I had that. I have no sense of like motion. My dance is horrible. Yeah. And especially I think because when I was young, I used to listen to a lot of rock music. So like rock is like stiff and you just like bang your head. It's like no smooth movements really. It's just like aggressiveness. So that's what I was really into when I was a kid. So when I try to dance, it's like I don't know what to do with my body. It's just like yeah. So I just play it off.
You're like, what should I move?
No, so I just play it off cool. I'm like
For us, it's just like since we have the rhythm, we learn since we're really young to dance a lot of stuff, bachata, merengue, and for foreigner people, they tend to see our dances like all as the same.
Yeah, but it's different, right?
Since we use our body a lot to communicate through dancing, but for us it's quite different. Every single rhythm and every single like genre.
Man, you really know your dance game.
Yeah. I do.
Your personality definitely shines through. You say you're shy.
Ego.
I mean, you say you're shy, but you're like, you can't just like help.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's certain things that I really like to talk about, and that's one of the main things. Yeah. I'm not really good at dancing, but I have the culture of dancing since I was like a little kid. So it's kind of like, it's something that I like. Yeah. I like really dancing and stuff. So
how was I'm probably sure you went to Korean clubs. How do you rate the Koreans dancing? I told you.
Of course, something that I was really shocked when I started like all this clubbing culture in Korea is that you can actually find places here, specific places where you can just dance bachata.
Really?
Like dance bachata or merengue or like listen to salsa or like those.
Are you talking about La Bamba?
No, not only La Bamba. Yeah, not only La Bamba. There's one place here in Hyundai that I'm not quite sure where it is because I came only like twice.
Liar.
To that place. Okay. I mean, to that place.
Twice in your memory.
Yeah, twice in my memory to that place. It's just like a gathering. It's like not like a gathering. It's just like this place where it's when people that really likes bachata and merengue, they have like days. For example, Bachata Mondays or like Taco Tuesday thing. But in rhythm, in music, we have like Bachata Monday and stuff. Where I went there and a lot of Latin people were like dancing bachata, and for me it was like they know how to dance bachata because in my experience, people in like Korean in clubs are like this or like just like rapping stuff. They are not really dancing.
Yeah, they're just like kind of pretending. Just like gestures, not dancing. Like gestures mostly,
or like simply singing or stuff. Because, let's be honest, hip hop is just not something that you can truly dance when you're in a club. Because rap is not something that you like can really dance when you're in a club. So you're gonna see most of the Korean people just like singing rap songs and stuff and not really dancing. So it was quite shocking for me. And that day at first, like I didn't dance or anything for like around 30 minutes because I was like still shocked. I was like watching everyone. It's like they even are better than me. Like dancing, they are like.
But were they Koreans?
Yeah, Koreans. Yeah, and it was like a whole mix. A lot of Latin girls and guys, mostly all the guys were Korean.
How were the Koreans dancing at Latin music? Were they okay?
Yeah, it was okay.
Really?
Yeah.
It's quite surprising.
It was quite surprising because I didn't know that Korean people were into that kind of music that much. It was the same for me. One day I was walking randomly in Jeouido, Hangan River Park. Hangan River Park, sorry. And I saw by far this like Ajushi and Ajuma couple. They were like having a nice picnic and everything, and they were like with this little stereo and stuff. And while I was walking to them, I could hear like a bachata, and I was like, bachata? What? Bachata? That sounds like they're listening to bachata. Because, I mean, you can definitely listen to reggaeton or something, but bachata is just like something really
specific
of some countries.
Okay.
And in my country, bachata is a huge thing. It's like really part of our culture. So for me, it was quite shocking too when I first saw that. It was like, oh, they look cute in my eyes.
Were they dancing? Were they dancing?
No, they were just having a nice picnic day, listening to bachata. I was like, oh, I want to be like that when I grow. And I'm not really fan of bachata.
Yeah.
I used to hate it, but since I'm not longer in my country, sometimes I can hear like a little bachata or something, and I'm like, oh, I get homesick.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
Bachata. I hate it, but I love it.
Love-hate relationship.
Yeah. So it's funny because the rhythm is good itself, but lyrics are not quite like. I don't like a lot of the lyrics.
I don't know what the lyrics are, so.
Yeah, you're gonna one day Google bachata or Romeo Santos or like.
What are the lyrics?
We have a lot of things, honestly. We have two different types of bachata.
Yeah.
We have the commercial international bachata, which is like something that people consume more.
Yeah.
And then we have cultural.
Oh, the real shit.
Yeah, cultural. We call it colmadón. Colmadón or colmado is like a little it's not like a convenience store. It's like, I don't know how to call it in English, but it's like a little place where they sell it's like a market.
Yeah.
But it's like little market when people tend to sit in front and drink beer and have a good time there and play.
Okay. Yeah,
something like that. Like a little market, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the bachata market, the colmadón, which is like really sometimes meaningful bachata, heartbreaking, sometimes about sex, really rough, like in an explicit way.
Okay.
And yeah.
It's like Despacito, no?
No, Despacito is really commercial though.
No, I mean like the lyrics, but the harsher version, you mean?
No, it's more.
It's worse?
It's worse.
I gotta search, I'm curious now.
Believe me, it's worse. It's worse. Of course, we have artists like Juan Luis Guerra. Is a really popular artist and well-known international artist from our country. That he tend to masquerade the lyrics a lot. For example, he have this song where he's talking about being a fish and getting into the deep ocean or like the where the fishes are.
Yeah.
How is that called? Like this, but when you put fishes in?
Yeah, like fish tank.
Like fish tank. Yeah, he's talking about fishes and fish tank and stuff like in the lyrics, and you can like listen to the lyrics and you'd be like, oh, he's talking about fish like in a really nice way. But he's not talking about fishing.
There's no fish.
No fish. No fish tank.
It's probably humans.
Yeah, he's talking about getting his inside of, So, yeah. We have like total different side of, and we international and like really cultural lyrics. So,
it's quite interesting because it's not very common to have explicit lyrics like that in Korea. It's pretty uncommon, I think.
For us, it was uncommon a lot of years ago, but I must say that probably 10 years ago to this date, lyrics been turned into really explicit. Like they be singers, like artists.
Yeah.
They're singing very explicit songs with very explicit lyrics. That's the thing, that I said before, I'm really proud of so many things, but I'm not proud of so many others.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm not proud of. Because as an artist, you should know what kind of people listen to your music and to what kind of people you want to listen to your music, right? And as an artist, it's not your responsibility to educate kids or anything because you're doing your music for a specific type of person,
Yeah.
right? But again, as an artist, you should have your limits because you know that in some point of your career, there will be a kid listen to one of your songs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know? And since we are like a really cultural open country, and the kids are really also open to listen any type of music or anything because just we don't have any restrictions on that part. So artists from years to now, they were like doing this explicit lyrics, which I don't think it's good. I mean, it's my point of view, of course.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. Because as an artist, again, they're doing this music for a specific people. They are not here to educate our kids or anything. But you should like have a little like consciousness, like we are in a country where we don't have any restrictions within like music stuff. So this is really the message I want to like give our like next generation or things, because. For me, seeing a little 5, 7, 10-year-old kid, girl or boy singing about having sex in an explicit way, it's not a good thing.
Of course not.
You know?
Yeah.
You see a 5-year-old boy or girl singing about stuff that they shouldn't be singing, that even for us, it's kind of like rough to sing. Yeah. So that kind of breaks a little my heart. I think that's kind of like something that my country needs to change. The artists and also like the radio and music consumers and everything, or like at least the parents, they should like have in mind that is something. When we are kids, even a simple word can mark us.
Yeah, definitely.
So like imagine being a kid listening to this kind
Go
of song.
preach.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes I see this kind of stuff and I'm like, why? I don't want to like have my kids.
No, definitely
and, like,
not.
To raise my kids there. I don't want that, honestly, because it's so bad.
I think like in this world, attention is really valuable, you know, because there are so many people who want to create things, and then attention can be translated into money and finance. So the more explicit, the more, how would I say, the wilder it gets, people tend to look at it. The noisier it is, people tend to look at that direction. So it's just, I guess maybe a lot of people try to do it because it's maybe potentially a faster way to earn something. But that has meaning. That's a different subject. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that they do it, it doesn't mean that it's correct, but everyone, for me, those kind of people are not artists at all. They're singers. Yeah. They're commercial singers. If you're an artist, there's different things that you should have on mind while you're doing what you're doing. Like how you express your music or how you express what you want to say to the world and stuff. Again, I put the example of Juan Luis Guerra, the guy that I mentioned before, because in that song, he's talking about fish and fish tanks. That if a kid listened to it, they'd be like, oh, it's fish and fish tank. Of course, for us, that we're growing up adults, we just like look up the meaning behind it, and we're like, okay, we understand it. But for kids, they listen to a song and they'd be like, oh, it's fish and fish tanks. You know, he is an artist.
You know, but it reminds me of 50 Cent's Candy Shop. I listened to that song when I was in 5th grade. I had no idea what it meant. And then I turned like maybe 19, 20, and then I was like, I realized, damn, fuck, man, I had no idea.
It happens a lot. But that's the point, you know, of making making your own way to share a message through a song. For me, that's what it's been called artist. You know, you don't have to like go to the easy way just to earn money. Just the people that are doing music just to earn money, they are commercial singers.
Yeah. No, of course it's important to earn money.
Of course.
But I mean, in my case, if the end goal was money, I don't think I would have chosen music because it's not the best way to make money. I mean, if you're successful, there's a potential chance that you'll make a lot of money, but the probability is pretty low. So if the money is what you're aiming for, music's probably not the thing, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like there are other things that you have a higher probability of making money.
Making money, yeah. But that's the thing. When you're an artist, you just it's just like so many factors. Honestly, to be called an artist itself, it has so many factors.
Yeah. Because sometimes people don't even think about like in depth. Varies on the person, but it's hard to argue, you know? Like, because now I'm at a point that it's kind of subjective anyway, so can't really say it's bad. Like you, I wouldn't necessarily want my kids, if I had kids, to listen to these songs, but yeah. But to be honest, like you can't really protect your child from every harm. So in case they see these things, like maybe if potentially it's the parents' responsibility to guide the child in the right way. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's like a shared responsibility, not only from the artist.
Yeah.
Because singers, again, are not here or not making music to educate your kids. They're just making music because there's something that's something that they like or something that they do it like they do to earn money.
Yeah.
And
at the end of the day, it's a job, you know.
Right. So it's like a shared responsibility within the artists, the parents who allow their kids to listen to that type of music, who consume that type of music, which it shouldn't be. And also, I wouldn't blame the government exactly, but authorities. Authorities. Yeah.
Authorities.
Authorities. Yeah. Like in the music environment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a shared responsibility. Everyone.
Yeah.
Again, as you, I want to let my kids listen to this song. They're like listening to Cocomelon, something like that.
But since you come from a diverse background, I'm kind of curious, like if you maybe potentially had like an identity crisis living life.
I did. I am an No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I did. Of course, I had a lot of identity crisis. And I guess it's because of what I've been through, like a lot of things that I've been through that makes me like sit down by myself and like, who am I? What am I doing? What should I be doing? What I want to do.
You think though your diverse background had caused your questioning to be more severe?
Yeah, definitely.
And in what way? I mean, I'm fully Korean, but I was raised outside of Korea in multiple countries. So even living in different countries, the end result was me having a bit of identity crisis because I couldn't really exactly associate myself
or identify yourself.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, I'm Korean, I look Korean, but just the my personal feelings is that I didn't really belong anywhere. But must have been probably worse, I can imagine, for you, being half Dominican, half Spanish. Yeah.
For me, I had like a lot of identity crisis. And it's because I always felt like I didn't belong my country. Because I was always the shy girl, you know, with different things that they like. When I was like 8 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, I used to listen a lot of English songs. Like I was this. We call it this. This is a term that we have in our country. That's like a really meme. You know, Discovery Channel, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I love that channel.
to kids like me in our country, that the people used to call the Discovery Channel kids because we were raised differently. we have different things that we liked. We were not like just like the normal kids. We were the Discovery Channel kids. So it's quite funny, I know. But I always felt like I didn't belong because of the same reason. I always thought that my mentality was far, like way more far and way more mature than the age that I really was.
Yeah. You had an old soul, even though when you were young.
Right. I always felt like, and you know, that's funny that you mentioned it because when I was like 11, I had like a really deep identity crisis because I was like,
at 11.
Yeah, I was like searching about what like the reincarnation thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like involved on searching of all that, and I was like really deep into like, because I really felt like I didn't belong. So I was like, maybe did I reincarnate in this life or something? What was I in my past life? You know, I felt like I was a completely different person since I have memory. So for me, I don't know.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I do. I do. Might sound silly though, but I do.
No, you can believe whatever you want to.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
it's not silly. It's like,
I mean, I'd say it sounds silly because not all people think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's like
you can argue that going to heaven or hell is silly. It's like it's the same thing.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't believe there's any hell or heaven. It's the same. Yeah. But I do believe that we have reincarnations.
Yeah.
We reincarnate in animals or people.
Yeah.
And that I also believe that what we did in our past lives
affects
us in our current life.
Like karma. Yeah.
So since I was like, for like you can just go to the like think what does a 11-year-old girl, what does that girl thinking about reincarnation and thinking that she's probably what does she was in her past life or any, like you can tell by that how big was my crisis back then. I was 11. Usually when you have 11, like for girls, not for all, but for girls, you'd be like playing with dolls or studying or like stuff like that, But back then I was like really thinking through or like of who I was, who I wanted to be. And I was 11. I mean, come on. You can tell by that.
It's interesting that you thought of those questions at a young age.
Yeah.
Do you think you found yourself a little bit throughout the journey since 11?
I did. I did find myself. I did find and I did learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know about myself too.
That's good. Yeah. Acceptance is important.
Yeah, just true. And knowing yourself, it's good too.
Yeah.
In this life, when you're like knowing people every day and stuff, it's good to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because that way you know your boundaries and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're only living your life as you. So you can only truly know just yourself, nobody else. So
that's true.
Yeah.
We never get to know in a fully aspect.
Yeah.
To anyone.
Yeah. It's just your own perspective of the world.
My own perspective of a person, of a world, of a thing. That's right.
Well, I'm glad that you found yourself.
I'm still on the journey though.
That's true. It's a never-ending journey. It's like
we never stop finding ourselves.
Yeah.
Be aware of that.
You think you found it, and you're like, who am I again? And then you think you found it again. You think you're going along that way, but it's like a continuous process. You might not even know if you till the moment you die, And then you have to repeat the life again. But yeah. But for me, I'm happy to learn. Like I said, curious soul, but always try to think of a purpose, why I'm living. Kind of how you thought when you were 11. But yeah.
Those are good thoughts. So if right now you're an adult, you're in your 20s or in your 30s, and you had your moment, like now that you're thinking about that, now that we're talking about that, and meanwhile you're watching this, you're thinking like, oh, I had my moment like this too. I think they should be like, you should be proud, because it's not everyone that knows at like a certain age, like a really young age.
Yeah.
Because as I told you, when you're 11 or when you're 9, you're like focused on kids things.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking deep into your life.
Yeah.
Right? You're just a kid.
Yeah.
You know, when we're kids, our parents provide for us. We don't really need to work or like worry about certain stuff. So if you have your identity crisis when you were a really young age, I think that's a good thing. I think that's part of waking up to the world a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you're going on the right path.
It's okay. It's okay because for my instance, the path of knowing myself caused depression a little bit. It might.
In my case, too.
it might. In my case, it did. But
it causes depression.
Yeah.
It causes anxiety.
Yeah, you tend to question everything about literally
Overthink,
everything.
Yeah.
But because you were able to think so much on the negative sides, that's why you get to see the opposite positive too. If you come out of the tunnel, definitely. Took me a long time, but
it takes a lot. I think personally, you never get out of that tunnel.
no, yeah,
It's like turning off and on a light. You know, there's moment where you think it through, think about everything, and you just put yourself in the position when where you decide to turn on the light.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be dark anymore. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna like see. I'm gonna see through. I'm gonna, you know. But there's moments where you turn off the light and you go back. So for me, I have like that definition. You never end up going out from depression or anxiety or overthinking because that belongs to you.
Yeah.
That's something that you have. That's something that you go through with. That's something that it became part of yourself. Meanwhile, the journey. So you might let it behind because it's not something that really helps you if you think it that way, of course. But if you think it in a positive way, it's something that really helps you.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's something that's still within you.
It's actually very wise. Yeah.
So you never
Over it,
let
you
it
just accept it.
You just like, okay, you decide for your own good sake. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the light and I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep forward. I'm gonna do this and this and this, and that's basically it. It's like some people said like, oh, it's not your decision to be depressed. It's not your decision, but it's all in your mind.
Yeah.
You know, that's your mind. That's yourself playing tricks with you, with your identity, with yourself. And that's part of knowing yourself. So
very wise. Learning a lot.
Yeah. I can tell that because I've been there a lot. And thanks to that, I can tell like I really know myself way much better than I used to.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about going deeper.
Yeah.
Is that when you go up, you go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like a wave, the opposite wave. You have to hit low and then go up.
To be able to go up.
It's kind of like how life is. It's never really just up, never really just down. It's just a constant roller coaster of ups and downs.
Ups and downs,
yeah. Trying to find balance, but
and at the end, it's on you how you take things. How do you let things to affect you?
Yeah.
Of course, we're weak. As humans, we're weak as fuck. I mean, it is what it is. That's why a lot of people that suffers from depression still ended up like taking their lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we're weak. Yeah. There's no manual or anything that tells you how you should live your life.
Yeah.
So it's on you to turn that weakness into your strength. So yeah, that's how life is.
It's kind of cool though. Like just a random question. You know the things that you were just saying right now, like these positive things. You feel like it's kind of a thing that you were saying to yourself too.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's kind of the same for me too. Whenever I say certain things, it's a reminder to myself too to not forget.
To not forget. Yeah. It's a reminder for myself too because I've walked that path before.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So this is like my little wakey moment.
Wake up.
This is like my little wakey moment. Like, oh, this and this, right? So it's also like a reminder for myself. Because again, I've been through that, and it's not something that you get over completely. It's something that you just like let behind.
Yeah.
And sometimes I still have my moments. So I need to remind myself, like, girl, you've been here before. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you tend to get focused you tend to get too focused on the situation too much and then not see from a further perspective, like a step back,
Last conversation that we had, it was like the first time we met, and the conversation that we had, it was really impacting for me because you say a lot of things that really got me thinking deep through it. And that night, I went home. I went to a convenience store. I bought some ice and bought some Coke, like some soda, and I had soju in my house, and I started drinking.
Well, that wasn't my advice, but since I told you I quit drinking. But
funny thing is that he quit drinking, so he was not telling me to start drinking or anything. It was just like I had a long time without having this kind of like deep conversations that it made me like think in like about a lot of aspects in my life. So that kind of turned me off a bit. And I just started drinking. And then I just started, when you're drinking or when you feel like kind of sad, because it was like a mixed feeling. I was not either sad or like, I was like, he said a lot of things that I should be thinking through that I didn't think it that way. Probably because I didn't have your point of view of that kind of stuff, which I did that day. And I was not specifically feeling bad or like sad, but I was really thinking deep into the whole conversation. And there was like some things that I was like, that I realized that things never happened to me, or like that probably are things that never gonna happen to me. So it was kind of like a roller coaster of emotions. So I started drinking, then I started listening to sad songs and everything. It was just like. That was the tough thing. That was like a tough learning day. But I appreciate it because that day taught me a lot of myself.
Yeah, it's kind of like breaking the shell, when you realize certain things, like it, growing pain, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like growing pains when you realize it, like how much you haven't really thought about these things. But in the moment, for my case, in the moment, I was kind of upset that I didn't know these things earlier, but at the same time I was kind of glad that I just found them now, not later. Yeah. And like everybody's living their own time schedule, you're supposed to learn it when you're supposed to learn it. I'm sure I've heard like whatever we're saying right now, I think we've heard these things earlier in our stages of our lives. We just weren't ready. We never really listened to it. Never really thought of the meanings, the depths of the meanings of these conversations. It probably was always around. It's just now that we got the message. It's like,
and it's because we also stubborn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very stubborn too. Yeah.
We're stubborn people. You're gonna listen people all around your life telling you do not go to that blue to that blue path. Yeah. And we were like, suddenly one day we wake up. Oh, let's just go to the blue path. Because that's how we are. We have to say it like that. That's how we are. Humans are like that. So yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, but I'm glad I shut up today. Let you talk. Because I've learned a lot,
Aww.
Here.
I'm glad to know that because the conversation that we have, like I told you, the first conversation that we have, it was such a learning impact for me that I'm really glad that I'm also giving you that kind of things for you. So yeah. Don't do it like me. Don't drink. If you're thinking it true, don't drink.
No,
please.
no. I quit for 5 months. It's like, I think I'm pretty over alcohol now, which is really good. So I'm pretty happy. But
I have to congratulate you because giving up something that is so addictive,
Mm.
it takes, like, you're brave.
Yeah. I mean, not really brave, but it's just, I think it was just the time. I think my body knew that I had to quit anyway, so.
Oh, so there's an age where I had, like, where
No,
I'm gonna
it's just
realize.
like, I think every time I was really hungover, I had the feeling like, oh, I should really quit. And then just one day it really hit me. I'm like, it's kind of pointless.
Ooh, so I think I'm on the stage too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't quite like stop drinking.
Yeah.
But I don't like the feeling
Yeah.
of the hungover
Yeah.
or like the after drunk.
Yeah.
You know, when you have like all this alcohol in
Yeah.
your system, and I feel like kind of numb and
Yeah.
dizzy. I don't like that
I think
feeling.
the more hangovers you have, the lower you get, I think. Like, yeah.
And you know,
So much worse.
the dopamine in your body when you're going through a hangover is so low
Yeah.
that you get sometimes
I
so
know.
depressed.
Yeah, I
and
know.
some,
Yeah. Such a bad feeling. Yeah. I'm glad I'm over it now.
I hate that feeling though.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. That's why I drink, but I drink and I know my limits.
Yeah.
I
That's good.
do not tend to be dizzy or like drunk or like no. I'm okay, this night I'm gonna drink this and no more.
I have no control, so I would always drink too much.
I do have my limits.
That's good. Yeah. So I have to be drastic. No alcohol at all.
That's like a thing about me, I think, that I know my limits.
Yeah.
When it comes about anything in my life, I know my limits. If I have a person, for example, put in the example of a person that, well, I have a relationship with that person and I'm letting certain stuff to happen, knowing that's out of my boundaries or out of my limits.
Yeah.
It's because I want to, because I know my limits, right? And it's the same about life, about food, about alcohol, about anything. So you should know your limits. I guess not everyone's gonna like be like that. It takes time, but
And you have to make the mistakes to know the limits.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Believe me, you have to make a lot of mistakes. Not few, a lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah, to know your limits. Yeah.
To knowing your limits.
But I'm proud, eh? I'm proud of
Yes,
my
yes.
mistakes.
You're going on the right path, definitely.
Because thanks to that, I know my boundaries and my limits now.
Yeah, but thanks again for the great advice today. Like I said, I'm glad I shut up today and let you talk way more than I.
Wow.
Like I definitely needed to hear that today. So I'm glad. It must have taken a lot of courage for you to come here and then talk to me, because you said that was your fear, but just like.
You're comfortable to talk to.
And I'm glad.
That's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, but I told you, like, your personality just shines through, and like,
thank you.
I think if people listen to it, I mean, even if I listen back to it, I would definitely just enjoy it, and then just gain more from. Even while being here, it's different when I monitor later. So just constantly learning. But anyways,
yeah, my advice is to people: don't think it too deep, but don't think it too deep, and don't think it too slightly. Just like in the middle.
Best advice.
In the middle. Nobody will know that, of course. And it's like, it's dumb for me to say it because I'm not a middle person at all.
You're a drastic too.
Yeah, I'm a drastic person.
Yeah,
if
me
I
too.
go up, I go up, and if I go down, I
Exactly.
go down. Never the middle.
It's your Hispanic Dominican side. It's like all the way up.
All the way up.
To a new
If
tier.
if I made a mistake, it's
Make the
good to
mistake.
Make a mistake. Woohoo! That's how drastic it is.
Amazing. That's how you make the mistakes too.
I think that's how I'm able to learn that much, because girl, if I fall, I fall. Really.
That's true. I guess that's why you have the wide spectrum of the mistakes and like the happiness, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
But again, thank you for coming. Hope you could come again.
Invite me.
Yeah, I definitely will.
You invite me and I will come. Don't worry.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.